Hello everyone, and welcome to Foothill High School's presentation of Every 15 Minutes. My name is Olivia Harchin.
And I am Marissa Corey.
And we are the head coordinators of this year's program. At this time, I'd like to ask that you all turn off your cell phones to respect the very somber attitude of the memorial today. We have a lot of families here that are going through the simulation of mourning a child, and we would just really appreciate if you could turn off your cell phones to get rid of any distractions, because this is a very impactful event, and we just want you to get the most out of it that you can as well.
We have worked together with our dedicated committee members, Kelly Dixon, Nick Zevanov, Eric Thornley, Jessica Amos, Jaron Thexton, Angie Eaton, Phoebe Liu, Angela Kim, Jasper Edwards, Kaylee Udinsky, Chris Candy, Carly Muller, Jack Simmons, Garrett Leone, and Tori Neppy to plan the event.
Every 15 minutes, someone in the United States is injured or killed in an alcohol-related incident. This program is designed to show the realistic repercussions of driving under the influence of alcohol. Here to talk to you more about the repercussions of drinking and driving is Officer Ayers.
Good morning. On behalf of the men and women of the Pleasanton Police Department, I'd like to welcome you to the 2014 Foothill High School Every 15 Minutes event. Officer Marty Bilt and I have had the honor of working with the student coordinators on yesterday's mock collision and the assembly you're seeing today. A special thank goes out to the faculty advisors Joe Friesen and Mary Zahuda, who have provided endless guidance and leadership to the students over the last 6+ months. I would also like to recognize both Olivia Harchin and Melissa Corey, who showed tremendous leadership throughout the planning of the process. We have been impressed with the countless hours all the coordinators have worked on this program, and they all deserve a round of applause. This event would not be possible without the contributions of so many other entities. At this time, I'd also like to thank the CHP, namely Steve Creel, Livermore Pleasanton Fire Department, Paramedics Plus, Graham Hitch Mortuary, the Pleasanton Police Department volunteers, and all those who made this event possible. The name for the Every 15 Minutes program is based on statistics from the late 1980s when the program was started. The data showed that someone was killed in an alcohol-related collision every 15 minutes. Today, the frequency of deaths has been reduced to about every 53 minutes. Part of the reduction in fatalities can be attributed to educational programs such as the one you're attending. Even though the rate of fatalities has decreased, a single preventable death is still unacceptable. This is where we ask for your help as first responders, educators, parents, peers, and friends. The primary theme behind the Every 15 Minutes program is about you making good decisions. As you are all aware, at your ages, it is against the law for you to consume any type of alcoholic beverage, and the consequences are even more dire if you drink and drive. As police officers, it is our role to strictly enforce the drinking and driving laws with zero tolerance. Unfortunately, nearly 100 teenagers and underage adults in Pleasanton learned the hard way that when you were arrested and were arrested for alcohol-related crimes within the past 3 years. Those arrests were the consequences of poor decisions that they made. Our hope with this program is that it will help to influence you to make the choices to not drink and drive or ride in a vehicle where the driver has been drinking. Although the Every 15 Minutes program is an alcohol-based program, I would be remiss in not stating that the consequences are the same for driving under the influence of any drug. If you are under the influence of anything that will impair your ability to safely operate a motor vehicle, the same DUI laws apply and you will be arrested. There is no way for us to tell how many Foothill students' lives have or will have been saved by this program. Unfortunately, we only learn the stories that end tragically. Please don't become another statistic, and please make the right choice. Today you'll be hearing from people whose lives have been forever changed by poor choices concerning drinking and driving. They share those stories with you so that we can learn from them and hopefully avoid unnecessary tragedies yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Officer. Today, we experience loss of life. One night, one bad decision can lead to a lifetime of tragedy and regret. Family, friends, and classmates are all at risk, and that one night can change lives forever. This is Every 15 Minutes.
Okay, Sabrina, what are we doing tonight?
You guys, let's be real here. It's Pleasanton. There's nothing going on tonight.
Literally always so boring.
Okay, my parents are out of town. Why don't we just throw a party here?
Ranger at Orbs?
Okay, it's happening. I'm calling Andrew. Hey, Andrew. Okay, so my parents are out of town. We're gonna throw a party here. You down? Awesome. Okay, Sabrina's trying to turn up, so can you bring the goods? Okay, see you soon. Bye. This is happening.
Oh, yeah! Let's go, guys! Oh, yeah!
Hey, Andrew.
What's up, Olivia?
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no, thanks for calling. Do you mind if I brought a couple homies now?
Not at all. Come on in.
All right, cool, thanks.
Come on.
What's up? What's up?
Hey.
What's up, Olivia?
We get that too.
Oh! Splash Brothers, right here. Splash Brothers. Oh! Got it. Oh! Let's go.
I'll tell you that right now. All right, this is you. That's good. Let's go.
Play. Yes!
Gnarly. Take it, Monica.
Alright, guys, count us down. Ready? 3, 2, 1!
Too much.
Thanks for giving me a ride home, Julia.
Oh yeah, of course.
I can't believe we had to do so many sprints at practice
I
today.
know. But at least we'll be in shape for season.
That's true.
Hey, guys, wait up!
Oh, hey, Greg.
What's up? Hey, Diane took the car. Is it cool if we get a ride?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm giving Katie a ride home anyways.
Sure. Yeah, I was just pitching.
Oh, fun.
Hey, is that Andrew's sister?
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I was just working on a group project, and I've been calling Andrew, but he hasn't been answering.
Well, you live next to Katie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm giving her a ride home. I can give you one if you need one.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Here's my car.
I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go get some in my car real quick, alright? Alright, yeah, go ahead, shoot. Oh my god. There it is. Get it, Ken. Get it, Ken. The cops are here! Let's go! Come on! Right!
Hey, Andrew!
Yeah.
Hey, I need a ride.
Okay. Yeah, I'm giving D a ride. Let's go.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay to drive?
I'll be fine, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm fine. Let's go.
Okay.
Hey, you guys, let's take a picture. Let's take a picture. All right, get in this. Not you. Okay, come back. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hey, that was good. That party was crazy. Hey, you guys see? You see Danny though? In the wagon?
Going through the hall in the wagon. That was so fun.
So what kind of project are you working on, Kelsey?
A science project.
What kind of science?
Bioscience.
Oh, dude, I hate science.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite.
Oh, who did you want, Victor?
That was really good. Yeah, that's my least favorite subject.
Yeah.
Alright, hey,
Hey, Andrew, stop swerving.
Hey, alright, no, we're good. I'm gonna gas past Foothill. Alright, here we go.
Hey, watch out! Red light!
Pleasanton Emergency 911.
Hello?
Yes?
I was just in a car accident. Another car crashed into me.
Okay, where are you?
Foothill Road in front of Foothill High School.
Okay, in front of Foothill High School. Has anyone been injured?
Yeah, my friends are hurt. Craig, oh my gosh, he's not answering me.
Okay, don't worry. What is your name, hon?
Julia.
Okay, Julia, apart from you and from Greg, is there anyone else in your car?
Yeah, me and my friends. Katie, are you okay? Katie, is Chelsea okay? She's not answering either. Please hurry. One of the people in that car went through the windshield. I think he's really, really hurt.
The police officers should be there within a minute or two, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Please hurry.
We're hurrying as fast as we can. We'll be right there.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Mary 4, Mary 1, going 97.
Please help. Please.
You stay calm, okay?
Let's come over here, okay? Sir?
Please help. Please help.
Okay, just hang tight right over there. Have a seat on the ground. Sit down right there.
I get him.
Hang on.
Is that correct? Yeah.
Okay. Keep it straight. Keep looking at me. Can you do me a favor? Can you squeeze my fingers?
A little bit more. Here we go. Okay, one.
I see from 92.
Does he live here in town? And he goes to Foothill High School?
Do you know a phone number for his parents or anything like that? So we can get a hold of him?
On the phone count?
Do you know where he lives?
Yeah, we're working to get him out. 10. One DOA, one turn on the back.
How old is he?
Alright, what do you need?
Is Daniel okay?
I think he's got it right now.
Daniel!
Yeah, let's go to the third one right here for this one.
Come on, kids, try to calm down, okay?
Where? I see copy.
Are you ready for it?
We're going to go through a series of tests to determine if you're intoxicated. Your palms facing out, your fingers out. And when I call out a hand, you're going to reach up, touch the tip of your nose, left, right, right. I'm placing you under arrest for felony DUI.
How could you be so selfish? Your sister, I'll never forgive you. I'll never
Two patients. Patient number 1, 18-year-old female, unrestrained passenger. She has an open femur fracture. She is conscious, GCS of 14, vital signs of 135/84, heart rate of 110. Patient number 2 is an 18-year-old male, unrestrained passenger, unconscious, GCS of 3, vitals 118/64 with a heart rate of 60.
I can't feel my leg.
I understand. You're gonna be okay. All right, we're almost to the hospital.
Hi. Are you the Hadley family? It's Monster Trio. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. I have some news for you. Greg, your son, okay, he was involved in a traffic collision today on Foothill Road, and he didn't make it, unfortunately. Just wanted to break this news. Is there anything that I can do? I can make any phone calls you like. We have a chaplain service as well, if you need. I'm very sorry to break this to you. Is there any questions that you might have? No. If there's anything I can do, please, let me know. We can make any phone calls. We can provide you rides. We do whatever we need to do to help you guys out right now. Okay. Thanks.
Doctor, share your report, please. This is Serena, 18-year-old female. She has a possible LOC on scene. She is currently ANO × 4 GCS of 15. She has an open femur fracture.
Serena, hi. Dr. Zemi at Eden Medical Center. Do you remember what happened?
Not really.
You know where you are? Good. Do you know what year it is?
Let's see if we can get a blood pressure.
Great. Do you know what month it is?
April.
Great. Can I get a light?
I can't feel my leg.
Okay, take a deep breath for me. Good. One more here. Good. Bilateral breath sounds present. She has laceration, left temporal region. Open your eyes, hold me on and take a look. Okay, this one too. Okay, pupils are equal, reactive, 4 millimeters. All right, squeeze my finger here. Squeeze my finger here. Good upper body strength. Any pain in your belly?
No.
How about here in your hips?
Hold this arm still.
Can you move your toes for me?
No.
Can you feel me touching you?
No.
Do you feel me touching you on your calves?
No.
How about here on your thighs?
No.
Feel me touching you here? Okay, all right. Let's get her off the board. We check her back.
She's gonna touch your back. What you can
Tell
feel.
me if it hurts anywhere I'm touching you. Okay, lower lumbar pain, deformity, and a step off. Let's get a chest x-ray, pelvis, CT head, neck, chest, abdomen, pelvis. All right. Go order some medication. Hi. Hi, I'm Dr. Zimi. Nice to meet you. Sorry to have to meet you this way. Your daughter Sabrina was brought to our hospital. How much do you know? What have you been told?
Nothing.
Okay. So essentially, she was involved in a motor vehicle accident. She came here, she has some injuries, she has a femur fracture, some cuts and bruises to her head. She's stable, she's alive, she'll be okay, but she does have significant injuries, one of them essentially being a spinal cord injury. She currently cannot move anything from her waist down, and in terms of how severe that is, I won't know until the films come back and we have a call out to our neurosurgeon who's on his way. If you'd like to see her, I can take you over there. Okay, very good. From CT, so we'll be dealing with her fractures in a moment.
I'm so sorry.
Just try to breathe, just try to breathe. Everything's gonna be okay. Okay. This will be okay. All right, what do we have?
She's in cardiac arrest, not intubated yet.
Okay.
Car accident.
All right, take a look at her eyes. Can I have a light, please? I don't have a pulse. Keep doing CPR. Go ahead and give one round of epi. The pupils are fixed, dilated, non-reactive, exposed brain matter. We'll see if she has any cardiac activity. Can you hold CPR? Let's see if we have pulses. Check for a carotid. I do not have a radial. No carotid pulse.
I'm going to intubate her.
CPR until I get the ultrasound. All right. Okay, hold CPR. I have zero activity. How long was she down in the field?
20 minutes. Breath down.
20 minutes. I have no pulse.
Secure this? I have no pulse.
All right, well, she's fixed and dilated. Long down time. We're going to call it. Time of expiration is 11:32. Does she have any family here?
They're in the family support room.
Okay. How much do you know? I know you know that your daughter was in an accident, but do you know anything further than that?
Nothing.
No, nothing. They were involved in a motor crash. They were hit at high speed by another vehicle, and she was brought in here. CPR was in progress, so she was in critical condition when she arrived. We spent about 15 minutes trying to resuscitate her. Her head injury was significant, and I'm very sorry that we were unable to resuscitate her. She's gone. We can give you an opportunity to see her if you'd like. Yeah.
Please.
Please. Thank you very much.
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Rodriguez?
Yes.
I'm Officer Batoy with Pleasant Police Department. Are you doing okay? All right. So there was I don't know how much they've told you so far?
Just heard there's an accident.
An accident that you were to come here? You doing okay? Okay, I know this is hard. There was a DUI accident earlier, and your son was involved and was a passenger. And I'm sorry to say that he's expired. He's deceased. He didn't make it.
It's okay, Don. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm so sorry about that. I'm really sorry. Is there anything that we can do for you? Is there something that we can call?
No.
You gotta call the girls. You gotta call Ellie and Emmy.
Yeah, we called our daughters. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
Oh no, he's not.
If we can get a hold of our daughters, that'd be great.
Okay. Why don't I just give you guys a minute, and then I'll come back and I'll help you make that phone call. Or
okay. All right. Great.
All right.
Thank you. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. I'll be the one if you want me to. Anywhere I would have followed you. Say something, I'm giving up on you. And I am feeling so small. It was over my head. I know nothing at all. And
So you understand that you're under arrest for felony DUI. So people were actually injured and killed in this car collision. You understand that?
just starting to roll. Say something, I'm giving up on you.
The program every 15 minutes has taught me that no matter what, it's not worth driving drunk. Call someone or get help, or it's just not worth it. You're putting yourself in danger and people around you, and it's just not worth driving.
That one bad decision could influence so many lives, not just the people directly involved, but the community, like friends, family, and it's easily preventable.
A lot of people, they're like, oh, I'm just gonna do it this one time, it's not a big deal, but one time is all it takes.
The impacts of drunk driving can, not only can they affect others, but they can also reverberate back to you. As Andrew, he killed his own sister without even knowing what was going on, and you know, I'm friends with him and Daniel's friends with him, and it impacts the entire community with one decision that you make.
I think it's just a good reminder that there are totally other options than drinking and driving. There are so many other avenues you can take versus doing something that can potentially ruin lives, not only the lives of the people that you could kill, but the lives of the families that love those people.
I want this program to get across that call your parents, call anyone. Someone will come help you, come drive you, and if you get in trouble, being grounded for a week or so who cares, you're grounded. You're not dying, or you're not gonna die. You'll get over being grounded, but you can never get over losing someone, or if you're driving and you hurt someone, you would never get over that. And that would be something that would live with you forever.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Through this program, we have experienced what it feels like to lose contact with our friends and family. We all experience that certain someone missing in our day.
Now we have Mr. Pryfogel here today with us to talk about how drunk driving has affected him.
That's a tough video to watch. I'm glad to be here today, but this is a tough thing to do, so I appreciate if you'll bear with me over the next few minutes. My name is Andrew Pryfogel. My wife is here with me, Susie Pryfogel. I have a 20-year-old daughter who goes to college in Boston. She grew up here in Pleasanton and San Ramon, went to Valley Christian, just up the hill. A few years back, I remember her telling me, "Dad, you're a cool dad. You're a cool dad." I like that. It made me feel good. It made me feel better than "you're the dorky dad" or the dad that embarrasses me. I guess as parents, we kind of are perhaps drawn to that idea of being cool parents. Our story starts on February 27th, 1993 in Houston, Texas, where a cool dad decided it would be cool to take his 18-year-old son and 3 of his son's friends to a restaurant and buy them drinks. Just a few harmless drinks. One cool dad, a bartender that looked the other way, and a group of invincible 18-year-old kids. 2 a.m. would roll around, last call. They would head out to the parking lot. The father would get in a car and drive away. And the other 4 would get in a different car, driven by a young man named Mark Weir. And they would drive down the road. Around that same time, there was another man that had just gotten off work. Another man named Mark, my brother. And he'd get in his car to make a short drive home. Mark was an amazing guy. He was funny and full of life. He loved to dance, loved music. He was a big Grateful Dead fan. He was a dreamer. He was a dreamer. He had a dream of one day opening a restaurant and calling that restaurant Terrapin Station. Terrapin Station is after a Grateful Dead song. He was a writer, really gifted writer. He had a dream of writing a screenplay that later he would produce into a movie with his brother Michael, my oldest brother, who today actually has an independent film production company called Terrapin Pictures. It's in Mark's memory. I have my own business called Terrapin Solutions. It's in Mark's memory. We had a family cabin up in the mountains called Terrapin Lodge. It's in Mark's memory. It's filled with all of his stuff. We'd give all that back if we could just have Mark back. The accident investigator would later estimate that Mark Weir's car was going over 80 miles an hour when it flew through this intersection, through a red light, and struck my brother on his driver's side door. 2:30 that morning in California, my phone rings. And my mom is on the phone. My mom's here today. She says, "Andrew, Mark has been in a horrible car accident. He's in surgery right now. You need to get over to the house. And we would all gather at the house, my whole family. And a little while later, the phone would ring again. Ma'am, I'm so sorry, but your son's injuries were too severe. We tried everything we could, but we could not save him. The grief in that house that morning was palpable. You could kind of cut it with a knife. It was just overwhelming. It was heart-wrenching, uncontrollable, nightmarish. Mark had 3 brothers and a baby sister. And Daniel and me and my dad would go to the Oakland airport to meet with my oldest brother Michael, who flew up from Southern California that morning. And I'll never forget him walking off the plane as he walked up to us and saw my dad, and my big brother would collapse into my dad's arms, saying, "Daddy, he's gone. He's gone." Later that day, our whole family would fly to Houston. And we would start the process of making decisions and about funerals and caskets and arrangements. I remember the car, going and seeing the car. I remember how unrecognizable this car was. I remember going through his apartment and having to clean out his stuff. And I remember that day being, frankly, lots of tears, but also lots of laughter as we kind of remembered stories together. I also remember lots of anger, lots of anger. I also remember Mark's daughter. Mark's daughter, Sarah. Sarah was 5 years old when Mark died. And I remember this look on Sarah's face that was somewhat uncomprehending. But how could a 5-year-old daughter know what was really going on? Uncomprehending, guys. I mean, her daddy was gone, and she didn't really fully understand that. I remember the day of the funeral. At the corner of South Shepherd and Westheimer, where the accident happened, a friend of Mark's would sit on the corner that morning on the curbside, and in the gutter would make a tie-dye flag. A band would play at his funeral called the Hightailers. They'd play a Bob Dylan song, "I Shall Be Released." At the graveside, Mark's coffin was draped in this tie-dye flag, and my brother Michael and I would fold up that flag and present it to my mom. And then we would go home. We'd go home back to California because life has to go on, doesn't it? But this story, tragically, is not just our story. That same day that we got a phone call, another family got a phone call. "Ma'am, your son has been in a serious car accident. He has minor injuries, but you need to come to the hospital." Alice Weir and her husband would go to the hospital, be met there by a police officer who would tell them that you are free to take your son home, but you need to know that your son Mark had been drinking heavily. In fact, he tested out over twice the legal limit. There's another man that's in surgery right now that's in critical condition. And if this man doesn't survive, we're going to come to your house, we're going to arrest your son, were going to charge him with vehicular manslaughter. Later that day, Mark Weir would be watching television, and he's watching a local news station. The local news report comes on, and it says that a 26-year-old man has been killed by a drunk driver at the corner of South Shepherd and Westheimer, and Mark Weir would scream, knowing in that moment that his life would never ever be the same. Mark would be arrested, convicted. He'd spend 3 months in jail, 3 years on probation. He'd later go on to college, but for years and years he couldn't find a job because no one wanted to hire a felon. His life would never ever be the same. Amazingly, some years later, my mom and Mark Weir's mom would develop a friendship. Imagine that. See, we believe in a God that forgives and loves and heals brokenness. We don't understand him. We don't understand why these things happen, but we choose to place our faith in him. And he gives us peace. Peace that's really impossible to explain. And that day, two mothers became friends because they shared a tragic bond. On that same day, at that same time, both of their lives changed forever. Mark Weir's mom would later tell us, embarrassingly, that her and her husband were grateful that Mark and his friends didn't use drugs. A little drinking wasn't a big deal. At least he wasn't a druggie. Am I that naive? Are you that naive? Am I that different from Mark Weir? I've been asked, was it hard to forgive Mark? Yeah, really hard. But when I think of the grace that God has extended to me, how could I not extend that same grace to Mark Weir? Life goes on, but two families are forever changed. 3 years ago, Sarah got married. She met an amazing young man named Matt Broussard, remarkable family. It was a big church, lots of people, stunning white dress. And that day, I walked her down the aisle. And on my left arm is Sarah, and on my right arm is draped a tie-dye t-shirt. And I walked her down the aisle, and I gave her away. And then I turned to an empty chair that was up front, and I took this tie-dye shirt and I draped it over the chair where my brother Mark should have been sitting. He should have been there. That was taken from him. That was taken from her. It's been 21 years since Mark's death. It's a long time. But it's only just recently, because of this program and your school's commitment to getting this message out, that Sarah can now tell her story. This is hard for Sarah, but she feels it's important. She flew from Houston to be with you here today. Would you please welcome Sarah Broussard?
So I was 5 when I lost my dad, and the things that I remember about him, it's really things that a 5-year-old remembers. He would get donuts for breakfast, and he let me jump on the bed. He would carry me on his shoulders, and we'd make up silly songs together. Everything else that I remember about, or that I know about him, is something that I've learned from others or from his writing, which I'm thankful to have. After he passed away, I was primarily raised by my grandparents in Houston, and while my grandfather did what he could to be that father figure for me, I still kind of had a void from growing up without a dad. Something that I don't really get, I guess, is the whole dynamics of like a father-daughter relationship. I have good friends who, they are super close with their dads. They go to them for advice, things like that, and it's not something that I really understand. My dad did miss out on the milestones, the big things like my wedding and my college graduation. He won't be there when I have children. But the hardest thing, the thing that hurts the most, it's really the everyday things. Just being able to have a conversation with him. Just hang out with him, really. Just even the fact that he'll never get to know my husband really hurts. I ended up having very similar taste in music to him, so I think it would have been really cool to be able to go to a concert or something. But, you know, that was taken from me. Growing up, it was always kind of a given that I wouldn't drink and drive. That was never even, you know, an issue. That was my mindset. I would never drink and drive. It wasn't until my friends began drinking that I realized that that wasn't necessarily a decision that they had made for themselves. And it became more and more apparent to me how many people, including my friends, would get in the car and drive after they've been drinking without even thinking twice about it. There's been many times that I've had to step in and stop someone from driving after a few drinks, and to be completely honest, it's not fun to be the bad guy. It's easy to make that decision for yourself. Some of you may have already made that decision that you know, wouldn't drive drunk or get in the car with someone who's been drinking. But it takes a lot of courage to stop someone else, to take their keys, or to stop them from getting in the car. But believe me when I tell you that it's worth it. It wasn't that long ago that I was your age and I was in your shoes. And I really have confidence in your ability to be a leader in this area, to have the courage it takes to step up and say no. So the main reason that I came here today, the reason that I flew all the way from Houston, is because I want to see a change. For so long, when I've told my story, I can see that there are people who don't take it to heart and they don't really understand the realities of it. And you know, I get that. It's really hard to feel passionate about something that you can't personally relate to. So it's my goal to share my story so that you all can feel just as strongly about something like this and just as passionate as we do without ever having to be personally affected by it like we were. Thank you.
That took tremendous courage, Sarah. Thank you. Who do you blame this on? Do you blame it on a naive parent A dad trying to be cool, a stupid bartender, perhaps a dumb choice in a moment by an invincible 18-year-old boy. You know, I hope my story never becomes your story. But I wonder if something had gone differently at some point in your life, in some decision you made last week or last month, if something had gone differently, what role would you have played in this story? What role will you play in this story? Imagine for a moment how this story changes with just a few different actors. A friend who says no, a dad who says no, a bartender who says no, perhaps an observing anonymous bystander who steps in and says no. I want to leave you with this message. I want story changers. I want story changers. Don't just avoid the story, change the story. There's an old classic movie called Network, where one of the characters in the movie says, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore." Can you get angry about a story like this? It calls for leadership, calls for courage. It calls for you to take a stand. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Not me, not my house, not my car, not my friends, not me, not my future. I want story changers. I want to ask you to do something. Yesterday you saw something amazing. Today, this unbelievable video. But I want to ask you to do something right now in front of everyone. Are you willing to be a story changer? Are you willing to stand up right where you're at in front of people you know and people you've never met, and in that simple act say, I'm going to change my story? Who are you? Who's willing to take that stand? Amen. Awesome.
Every 15 minutes, someone is impacted by irresponsible choices made by a guilty driver. Innocent people are unfairly affected by these decisions.
The greatest impact of an accident is felt by the victim's loved ones. At this time, some of our living dead participants, as well as their family members, will read their goodbye letters. First, we have Daniel Rodriguez.
Dear Mom, Dad, Emmy, and Allie, /teams/friends. If you are reading this, the worst has happened. The reason I am who I am today is because all four of you have shaped me into the young man I am today. I feel that you, Mom and Dad, have shown and taught me that there's too many things in this world that I need to experience. There are many things that I thank you guys for, and I can't express how lucky I am to have you guys. When I look back on life, there's nothing I can do or say to ever repay you guys and what you have given me in this precious and eventful life. No matter what I say or do, I always know at the end of the day, both of you are watching from the sidelines, watching me give it my all each and every day. Before each and every game, Mom, you always said, go get them. Small things like that don't seem to be much, but I feel it teaches me to go out and try my hardest and watch the success come. Allie, no words can describe how sorry I am that I made this decision. We have shared too many great memories, and I hope you will never forget them. I love you. Emmy, you don't know how much I love you and how much it hurts me to write this. Although I know you're sad, I feel that you will be most disappointed in me. Throughout living at home, I always feel this need to make you proud of me. You've always had my back and always wanted me to succeed in everything I do. I love you so much and want you to live life to the fullest. I want to apologize to all my coaches and teammates. All of you have been a huge part of my life and affected me in words that can't be explained. Lastly, to all my friends, I'd like to say that thank you for the impact you guys have had on me, and I want you all to make smart decisions and know that you all mean the world to me in words I can't describe. Thank you for everything you have done. Love, Daniel.
Our next student reading will be Evan Williams.
Dear Emily, Mom and Dad. Emily, I never told you how much you inspire and influence me every day. You've always been the one person I could always count on to believe in me. It's too late now, but if I could, I would thank you for the teasing, the name calling, and mostly for always pushing me and believing that I can do more. I love you more than anything in the world, and I wish that I was there right now to hug you, talk about our relationship problems, and laugh at ourselves together. You are, and always have been, my partner in crime and my other half. Thank you for being the greatest sister of all time and for making me a better, more confident, and driven person. I love you, sis. Mom and Dad, I'm so sorry that I'm gone. I'm sorry that there will be an empty seat at the dinner table and that I won't be there anymore to listen to your boring dentistry stories. I'm especially sorry that I didn't hug you, hang out with you, or even tell you that I love you enough. I want you to make sure that Emily is okay, and I want you to keep living. Be happy for all you have allowed me to experience and everything you taught me. I love you so, so much. Thank you for giving me 17, almost 18 years of unconditional love, and for giving me the opportunity to see the world and be whoever I want to be. I love you all, and I miss you already. Love, Evan.
Next, we have a parent letter from John Ellert.
Thank you. I'm honored to share the feelings that I experienced as part of this all too real tragedy. Dear Sabrina, beautiful, thoughtful, compassionate, happy, smart, athletic, loving, caring, special, special, so special. These words are all I have to describe you to someone who didn't get the privilege to meet you, now that you're gone. The pain of our loss will never leave me. The pain of our loss will, now and forever, define every minute, every second, every breath that I take. Memories of our adventure walks behind Cottager Ranch, jumping on our trampoline, visiting the Exploratorium, coaching your basketball teams, and having breakfast at gyms will not fill the void in my heart created by your death. As time passes and the intensity of the pain fades, the void will be filled with sad and empty statements that start with, "If only we had." As time passes and the intensity of the pain fades, the void will be filled with useless answers to the question that every parent who loses a child is burdened to ask for the rest of their lives, what could we have done to prevent this? My promise to you, now that you're gone, is that I will never stop searching for the answer. I'll never stop searching for the answer because deep inside me, in the furthest recess of what remains of my broken heart, there is a place where hope survives. Hope that you will return to me for one more breakfast at Jim's, if only I could determine the correct answer. It's that delusional fragment of hope that I live for now that you're gone.
Our next parent letter is from Laura Hadley.
My dear Greg, how do I say goodbye to you, my precious son? How do I release you to heaven when I so desperately need you here? Parents are not supposed to bury their children. I'm so sorry I was not there to hold your hand when you died. I hate to think you were alone in that instant. I wish I could have been there to tell you that I loved you from the day you were born until today, and I will continue to love you through eternity. Not a day will go by, not an hour will go by that I will not miss you. I will keep your memory alive. I will make sure your nieces and nephews know what an incredible person you were. There is a saying, we are not given more than we can handle. And sometimes this is true, but not always. Sometimes people are given situations they cannot handle. That is where I am today. I know time will not heal this pain. I am forever broken. You are the most caring person I know. I will always remember when you were in 1st and 2nd grade, and before school you would go in the backyard with your sword and fight off all the orcs or stormtroopers or whatever bad guys had taken over during the night. You would come in and say, "You're safe, Mom, I got them all." Always wanting to keep your family out of harm. You would have made a wonderful husband and father. In 5th grade, you told me you wanted to work for the Make-A-Wish Foundation when you got older. And someone told you that you wouldn't make much money working for them. And you said, "I don't need a lot of money, I just need to help those kids." That's you, an incredibly gifted young man with a huge, huge heart for people. You have touched so many people, honey, in your short 18 years. You will be missed by so many. I cannot say goodbye. It is too painful. I would give anything for you to come back. Please, please, please come back. All my love, Mom.
Today, we would also like to welcome someone who has personally been affected by drunk driving, Mr. Williams, and after, we will have a choir performance.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for asking me to speak today. It's hard to be here. You know, this is like home for me. I've been in this gym many times, on this campus many times. You know, soft place in my heart for Foothill High School. I'm going to talk about one of your own today. You know, I was asked by Olivia, Phoebe, and the organizers to speak to you today, and I really appreciate the opportunity. It's really important to me. I don't know what else to do, seeing of the situation that I've experienced, my experience. But they didn't ask me to speak because of my public speaking ability or some sort of academic background. That's not at all why they asked me. You see, I'm a living, breathing example of every 15 minutes of the program you're going through. It's great news that it's not every 15 minutes anymore. It's great news that it's every 52 minutes, but still too much. Just a waste. The reenactment, the accident, you know, the video of the events leading up to the accident, powerful. Oh, so powerful. The hospital scene, the mortuary or the coroner's van, the coffin, really painful for me. As I said, this happened to me. I went through this. And I'm going to tell you my story, and I'm going to tell you about Laurel. You're gonna look at those pictures. At the end, there'll be the crash scene. You know, I'm not high tech, so you'll have to bear with the PowerPoint. But that's Laurel. I will talk about her. I'll talk about the accident. But before I do that, I'm kind of not selfless. I'm kind of selfish because I want to accomplish something. It's important to me for our time together that you all get something out of it. You see, I'm selfish, like I said. I want to impact you. I want you to understand about your decisions and your choices. I want you to understand that your decisions, your choices, put your life and others' lives on a path. Positive, negative. You know, time will tell. Those choices they will affect your life forever, or in Laurel's case, end your life. But listen, it's important to me also that you know I'm not here to talk to you about your lifestyle. That's not my role today. It's not my role to tell you how to behave, how to live. If you ask me about drinking and driving, obviously it's stupid. It's not something you should do, or any of us. It doesn't make any sense. But I figure you have your parents, your peers, counselors, pastors, clergy to talk about those things. So today, I'm not going to talk about your lifestyle, just your choices, your decisions. Really important that you understand that you control your life, that those choices, decisions impact your life and others. Well, this is real, isn't it? This really happened to me. As powerful as it was, and as well as it was done, and as much as I cried sitting there, all of you will go home tonight, and you'll hug your parents, you'll talk to them, and then, you know, you'll have the memory of this. For me, it's different. It's different. Before I tell you about the accident on Foothill, right down the road here, let me tell you something about my family and how similar I think our family is to your family. I'm a resident of this area. I live in San Ramon. I actually coach basketball at Doherty Valley. Been in this gym. Used to coach basketball at Cal High. I know some of you walking in. I recognize you. I coach women's golf, men's golf at California High School as well. Laurel's mother and I have been divorced for some time, but she lives here in Pleasanton, works in Pleasanton. So, normal family. Laurel, she was born on June 10th, 1988 at Eden Hospital, that same hospital where it was on the video, Castro Valley. She went to Fairlands Elementary School, Harvest Park for 6th grade. And then they opened Hart, and she went to Hart Middle School for 7th and 8th. She came here to Foothill. She loved Foothill High School. She stood across the road that first day in her senior year and held up the sign and do whatever you people do. I don't really know what that is all about, but you do it. And she went to junior prom. She went to senior ball. She did a year at Las Positas, was in her 2nd year there. She was going to go to San Diego State. In fact, we had a trip planned. I never got to make that trip. She was going to go to San Diego State. She was really excited about it. She worked at Wells Fargo. She was a teller as well. Here's the important thing. She was never a problem in school. Well, she had problems with math, but who doesn't, right? Some of you don't, but she did, and we got her a tutor and all that. Never a problem with these gentlemen, men and women in blue, never a problem with law enforcement. In fact, we never talked to law enforcement until after the accident. She sat in this gym and went through this program just like you are. It struck me as I got ready for this talk with you all. What did Laurel get out of it? What are you going to get out of it? Are you going to be impacted or not? So those are the similarities. I thought it was important that you understand that normal, just a normal girl, no problems, not at risk. Somewhat normal family, other than me probably, but that's probably what my wife would say. So this could be you. That's the bad news. This is scary news. This could be you. October 20th, 2007, my cell phone rang. It was early in the afternoon. I didn't answer the phone. I couldn't get to it fast enough. It went to voicemail. I quickly retrieved the voicemail, and it was Laurel's mother, Kathy. She was hysterical. She said there had been an accident. She didn't have details, didn't know what was going on. I remember her saying, "It's emergency, emergency, call me back," which obviously I called right back, literally seconds. Kathy didn't answer. It was a male voice. To the day I die, I will never forget this. It's like it was yesterday. A male voice, and boy, and it really brought back memories on the video. The voice said, are you Ken? I said I was. Are you alone? I demanded what was going on. He said he was Gary, and he was a police chaplain from Pleasanton Police Department. I knew right away what that meant. Again, Gary asked me if I was with someone. I demanded for him to tell me what was going on. Ken, there's no easy way to tell you this. Laurel's in a car accident, and she had died. I fell to my knees, and I couldn't move. My heart was broken. This little baby from Eden Hospital, she was born there, and I remember holding her and taking her to the nursery when she was just minutes old and falling in love with her. Falling in love with her. I loved her just so much. She was gone. How could it be? Story started the night before. Choices started to pile up. Decisions started to be made. Laurel left her mom's house. Her mom lives off of West Las Positas, really close to Hart Middle School. She didn't drive. She made a decision not to drive, leave her car there. She went with some friends to a restaurant that's not even open now. They had dinner, and then they went to a friend's house, Ashley. Ashley lives over off Black Avenue. There was a decision to drink. Wasn't a big party. It was not like the video. It was probably 10, 12 people maybe. Kind of low-key, no police, none of that kind of stuff. A decision was made to drink, but prior to that, a decision was made, obviously, to get alcohol. The way they got the alcohol was a gentleman there, a young man, Paul Stonebarger. He bought alcohol. He's over 21. He went to Safeway. We know he did because of his club card. We know he went multiple times, and he bought a large amount of alcohol. Not a six-pack, not 2 6-packs, a lot of alcohol. Decision, buy alcohol. Kids that weren't, or people that weren't over 21. They drank, but they spent the night. just like you all think you should do. Let's spend the night. We'll sleep it off. I don't know if they slept. I have no idea. I never got a chance to talk to Laurel. They made a decision to leave in the morning. Why? And you can relate to this, because Ashley's dad was coming home. I'm assuming they drank in the morning, and I know that. I assume that because of Katie McEwen, the driver of the car's blood alcohol level. Also Laurel, my daughter's blood alcohol level. I know that through her autopsy. They drank a lot. The girls, those two girls, my daughter and Katie McEwen, were driven, I don't know why, to Katie's car. Katie's car was over by Frankie, Johnny, and Luigi's at another friend's house. I do not know why a decision was made, and a choice was made to drive these girls to a car. Have no idea. It was a bad decision. It was a poor choice. Katie McEwen, as I said, was 3 times the legal limit. They put her in the car. They put Laurel, somehow Laurel and Katie got in the car. Katie's Mustang. They drove right by Laurel's house, didn't drop her off. Again, I don't know why. These are the things that parents do. They think about these things. Why? What if? Laurel got in the car and put her seatbelt on. I know that. She was still seatbelted in at that accident. That red Mustang they got into that car, and I know they went more than 70 miles an hour. Police report tells us that, the skid marks. You've come down Foothill Road and you've seen those angel wings on that pole. And right there, Katie McEwen the car swerved a little right and got in the gravel and they lost control. I'm assuming she overcorrected, taking her into oncoming traffic, hitting that silver SUV, 70 miles an hour, hitting that SUV. Injuring the woman in that SUV severely. She had to have multiple surgeries. In fact, she survived. She couldn't live in the area. She needed to move. She couldn't, it just haunted her. Katie did not wear her seatbelt. She was ejected from the car. She hit that other car, hit that other car head on, and she was ejected from the car, similar to your video. But she was ejected through the passenger window. She didn't wear a seatbelt. It was a choice, wasn't it, to not put your seatbelt on? She struck Laurel on the way out and snapped Laurel's neck. That's how Laurel died. Instantly. In the coming days, after the accident, I had to do many things that nobody wanted us to do. Some of the things will be really familiar to you. I called the Alameda County morgue coroner to get Laurel from the morgue. I had to get my baby. I went to Graham Hitch Mortuary. I bought a casket. Kath and I talked about it, and we wanted our baby in a white casket. We wanted her in a white casket. I didn't buy a wedding dress. I didn't plan a wedding. I didn't plan a graduation. I bought a casket. I planned a funeral. I talked to the church and the cemetery, and I went and picked out where my daughter would be entombed. You see, this is real. This is real stuff. Decisions impact. I talked to Laurel's sister, who's now a freshman at Cal High. She was 8 years old. Daddy, why didn't they take her to the hospital? Why didn't they take her to the hospital, Daddy? We went to court. Katie McEwen was charged with gross vehicular manslaughter. We went to court. We went through all that process. Katie was only 19 years old at the time, and she served 3 years in prison. She has 2 strikes on her record. She's a felon. I know she has a hard time getting a job. Andrew mentioned that. Paul was convicted of providing alcohol. He was sentenced to a year in the county jail, and he spent 30 days and then decided to drive drunk and was picked up, and he spent the remainder of his time a year in county jail. I will forever and ever be affected by this. There isn't 5 minutes that don't go by that I don't think of Laurel and how I miss her. I just miss her. We should be planning weddings now. We should be thinking about grandchildren now. I just want to hear her voice. Just want to hear her voice. Just want to see her face. I never will. So this is real. You could be Laurel. You could be Paul. You could be Katie. Or you could not. Last night, I talked to some of your parents. Your parents love you so much. Your parents love you so much, and I get it. I get it. I have kids as well, other children, and sometimes we fight and we go after each other, and it seems like your parents don't love you. They love you, and they would be devastated to lose you. I have a dream for you and your family. My wish for you is life. Grow old, make your decisions count, share all the things with your parents that I can't share with Laurel. College graduation, weddings, grandchildren, just being there to talk. Don't be our family. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Williams, and thank you, choir. Finally, we would like to welcome our formal Vice President, Mr. Rich Gordon, to come and share how he has personally been affected by drinking and driving.
Morning, Falcons. Thank you for inviting me to be here. It's great to be back this morning. So, you know me as Mr. Gordon, former vice principal here at Foothill. What you might not know about me is that when I was 18, my brother David was killed by a drunk driver. David was riding his bicycle home when a 21-year-old man drove his car off the side of the road and took David with him. On December 19th, 1985, my brother's life literally ended in the blink of an eye. Shortly after David was killed, my family received sympathy cards, hosted a multitude of visitors, and had more food brought to us than we could ever possibly eat. After a while, though, the visitors, the cards, and the food stopped coming. Unfortunately, the pain and the devastation from the loss continued on. Just imagine for a moment if someone in your life died senselessly because of someone who was under the influence of drugs or alcohol. It's not the type of pain that goes away quickly. You have to live with that loss for the rest of your life. In that first year, David's high school established a scholarship in his name. When it came time to present the award, my father used the opportunity to share a concept that I've never forgotten. He explained to the audience that when someone dies, an empty chair is left behind. He was talking about the chair at our dinner table where David had once sat. He asked everyone to pause for a moment and ponder how it feels to have an empty chair at their dinner table. In my life, the empty chair represents not only the loss of my brother, it's also the uncle that my two children will never know. It's the brother-in-law who will ever remain a mystery to my wife. David is a part of me who none of you will ever have the chance to meet. People ask me, what happened to the driver who killed David? Well, he received a 5-year prison sentence, and to be honest, I haven't focused very much attention on his whereabouts. What I've often thought about, though, is the fact that no matter what he does or where he goes, he will live the rest of his life knowing that he killed someone while he was under the influence of alcohol. Over the past 27 years, I've come to the conclusion that my best option is to forgive the driver who caused David's death. I'm now at the point where I really do hope for the best for him. I practice forgiveness for my own sake because maturity has taught me that it's impossible to hold on to resentment and be able to live my life fully at the same time. Faced with the choice, I'd rather live life fully than to let resentment get the best of me. I have tried to use this personal tragedy for some sort of good. That's why I'm speaking to you today. I've also made a commitment to live a drug and alcohol-free life. Contrary to what some people think, being drug and alcohol-free has not limited or restricted my life in any way. One thing I know is that as long as I remain true to my commitment, I will never have to face the guilt and regret of having hurt or killed someone while under the influence of drugs or alcohol. I invite you to join me in a drug and alcohol-free lifestyle. If you want to be sure that you won't hurt someone or make a poor decision while you're under the influence. At the very least, I implore you to never, ever get behind the wheel if you've been drinking or using drugs. It's just not worth it. I don't think any of you would like to spend the rest of your life knowing that you're the reason why a family has to sit down to a dinner table with an empty chair. I thank you, Falcons. Be safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gorton, for sharing with us. It is our hope that through the Every 15 Minutes program, we have stressed the realistic consequences of drinking and driving.
However, it does not stop at merely alcohol. Any form of distracted driving, from texting to the influence of drugs, is potentially fatal and easily avoidable. We hope that the simulation you witnessed, along with this memorial, will force you to think twice before driving under the influence of any distraction.
Before we end, I just really want to thank our two teacher coordinators, Mr. Friesen and Ms. Sahuda. They have been wonderful throughout this entire project. They made it really special this year, and I'm so glad I got to work with them. I also want to thank Marissa and Olivia. They were good friends of mine, and I'm so grateful I got to work with them this year. I know they stressed over every little detail and put their heart and souls into this project, and so I really hope that you guys take from it what you're supposed to and it impacts your life. And we're so thankful for everything that all of the committees have done, and thank you guys for coming and being respectful today.
Thank you, Jessica. That was really sweet. Before we excuse you, we wanted to thank the administration and staff that have helped make this event even possible. Thank you, Mr. Kay, Ms. Heller, Ms. Friesen, Ms. Sahuda, Mr. Friesen, Mr. Sauce, Mrs. Asturias, Mr. Sears, and Mr. Hansen for their incredible help and support that made this event a success. Again, thank you to all the committee members that helped plan, and thank you to all the participants that aided in the emotional impact of this program. You are all excused to go back to your third period classes to grab your backpacks and return to fourth. Thank you.